Hello, everyone. We know that times are always moving forward, and it's always for the best, but every once in a while there are some setbacks. Now, we already know about rideshare drivers and the responsibilities that drivers have when they have passengers around, and even with that, there are issues. But this is not about any rideshare driver. This is about what is already going on and will be continuing in the future. And this is about Waymo automated vehicles. Um, where I'm located at in Austin, they have some of them. I'm also aware that they have some in the DFW area as well as California. And speaking of California, there was an incident back on January 23rd where a kid was being a kid and running out in the street, and the kid got struck by a car. But guess what? There was no human in it. Am I surprised? I'm not surprised because things happen. Now, would have it been better if a human was in the car? I believe so, and I can touch on that in a moment. But the thing is, this kid getting hit in Santa Monica, California, this elementary student who did not get hurt majorly, meaning like they're not in critical situation and things of that nature. However, they did have minor injuries. Now, you all may be wondering, hey, what's the big deal? What's the fallout? And this is it. One, it was a kid. Two, it was no human responsible. But we know someone is responsible because someone owns that company. Okay, fine and fair. Now, there's a federal investigation that's taking place on Waymo. And they're going to be focusing on how they operate, like they're designed around school zones, pickups, and drop offs. Because I know you all already know, for those out there that don't believe it's occurring, again, it's happening in real time. About a year from now, maybe 2 years from now, if not sooner, it's going to be more of these vehicles around. And you all may say, hey, Charles, you're tripping. That's not going to happen. I'm here to tell you that it is happening. How do I know, you may ask? Because I consistently see people hopping out of the vehicle and no one is driving it. Which is, hey, I'm not against it. I'm all for growth and difference. And you can't escape what's already here. So with that being said, what does the future hold? How do you all feel? Those out there that do rideshare driving as a driver or as a customer, or you're thinking about doing rideshare, those out there that have kids or teenagers and they allow their kids to get into this vehicle. I'm not saying to be scared because it's not a horror movie, but you have to be realistic and ask questions. And I know this is to be true because I read stories where the Waymo vehicle crashed into other vehicles, which that's bad in itself, but it's worse when a human is involved, especially when it's a kid. Just being a kid. There's many times we as kids ran out into the street when we were young. Now we got chastised or disciplined for it, as each kid should be. But the bigger point is, what will change from this? I personally think that nothing is going to change. It's still going to have a lot of these cars in droves, no pun intended, and they're going to be driving people around. And I understand because people like convenience. I mean, hey, if I call a Lyft or Uber and the individual was taking all day to get here, I could just dial up a Waymo. Waymo come get me. I don't got to worry about driving. I can just relax. Also, I thought, also you thought, you can't really relax because what if the car don't stop? What if it forgets to change lanes? then what happens? Who is held liable? And then even coming out of all of that, if there's a collision like there was in California at the elementary school, how long does the process take? I mean, I've never been in a Waymo. You all can tell me if you ever been in one. I've seen a few people hop into one. I've seen a few people hopped out of one. Maybe in the future, if I'm nearby in close proximity, I can ask someone, the person getting in or the person getting out, what their thoughts were on it. It's just, I don't know. I'm not necessarily shocked because things happen. When you're trying to roll out something new, something different, there's always going to be malfunction. There's no smooth sailing. But if I was a parent, would I have my kid in it? Depending on how old my kid is. My kid was a teenager, that would be no big deal. But the bigger deal is these vehicles need to know when to stop. They need to not hit humans. I mean, I know this sounds very. What's the movie with? There was a movie, and you all can tell me. There was a movie out there with Sylvester Stallone back in the day and Wesley Snipes. I believe it was called Demolition Man, which was an excellent movie, classic movie. Do not try to remake it. I believe it also had Sandra Bullock in it, if memory serves me correct. But the thing is, it was basically the premise. I don't want to spoil it because you may want to watch it, but it talks about in the movie future events and cars doing certain things like that we basically have going on now. And it's like, is everyone ready for this? Because I'm just being open and honest. My personal opinion, for those cars to function like that, it has to have programmers, also known as coders. Now, just think about this for a minute. So the car had a malfunction and hit the youth in Santa Monica, California. Now, just imagine, which I don't even think they would tell the public if this was the case, that a hacker got inside and re manipulated the code to cause harm. Because it won't stop there if that was the case. And let's say that wasn't even the case. That could happen in the future. A hacker could get in, or someone that writes code at the company who got wind that they about to get laid off, they can manipulate the code and have the Waymo vehicle do ridiculous things. When you get up to certain speeds, don't stop. Or stop at this light, but at the next 3 lights, don't stop. I know you all may think, hey, I'm tripping. If you all don't believe me, watch this 1995 movie that was a classic called Enemy of the State. And you will see. Because in that movie, it was starring Will Smith, and I believe Regina King was in that movie too, and a few other famous individuals. In this movie, the government was changing the lights, intentionally trying to catch Will Smith's character, who I forgot the name was at this time, escapes me. But it was a great movie. I say that to say that this could be done with the Waymo vehicles. And this is why the federal government is looking at it, trying to do research and get their data together. But they have to know this. I mean, if I know this, and I'm not a hacker, I mean, I've done a little bit of coding, but they have to know. They just have to know. So I just wanted to bring this to you all today. For those out there, of all people, all races and genders, if you do ride share, if you don't do ride share, if you do ride share as a customer, or you just tired of people and you say, hey, I want to get into a Waymo vehicle, just know, I'm not saying that it's going to happen. In fact, I'm not even wanting it to happen. I wish it could operate like a human, but hey, it's not a human behind the wheel, so you get what you get. So I want to thank you all for listening, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.